Hello, my name is Mark Van Kooteren, and today I'm going to be talking about machine learning. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is defined as any computer algorithm that automatically gets better with experience. It's commonly used in companies like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Netflix. Any recommendation, like anytime you get a recommendation for something, it's usually machine learning doing that a lot better than a human, a lot faster than a human can. And why I'm talking about this is because I'm a statistics major, and last semester I did my capstone comparing neural networks, a specific type of machine learning that I'm going to be talking about later, versus our old methods. And I did my capstone on that. So, and I'm not going to go too much into depth. There's a lot of like little details I could talk about, but you need to have like a pretty strong background in math to be able to like know a lot of that. And no one likes math, I've learned. So. And in specific, neural networks, what I did my capstone over, they're an attempt to simulate the human brain. So they have like little nodes that we call neurons that can light up between 0 and 1 usually. And then they have connections between them, which also can light up between 1 and -1. So you can light up each node, and each node lights up another node. And then that's kind of like how a human brain, each neuron lights up and there's connections. And the general structure of it is we have an input layer, which has where we put in our data, whatever our set of circumstances is. And then on the other side, we have an output layer, which actually gives us our decisions. And usually just like the two layers aren't enough, just like the one connects to the other. So what we usually do with the more complex problems is have what's called hidden layers in the middle, where we put in more nodes between the two. There's really you can set up however many you want. There's general like rules. The more complex a problem is, the more hidden layers you want, and the more nodes in those hidden layers. You kind of just have to do small scale tests with a whole bunch of data until like you find one that seems to give you the best, then get your full data. And there are in general 3 types of neural networks. There are others, but they're not as popular, and you can't really explain them really fast. There's there's reinforcement learning, there's unsupervised learning, and there's supervised learning. Supervised learning is the one I did my capstone specifically. That's where the data is separated, where each data has like a label or a number of some way, and you're trying to guess the relationship between the two. So for example, I had a patient's age, sex, weight in pounds, whether they were a smoker, and a few other things. And I try to predict how much the data set had, how much they paid for their insurance, and I try to predict that with the neural network. And usually you can think of it as a function where we're not really interested in like learning the specific like answers. We're trying to find the relationship between the two so we can guess data that we've never seen before. There's a lot of more little stuff with that, but I'll move on. The next one's called unsupervised learning. That's one where it's kind of hard to explain technically, but I think it's more intuitive just to think about. We have a large set of data, so we can find out what a normal data set kind of looks like. And then we can say, hey, this one looks weird, kind of thing. This is used a lot in bank fraud. If you only buy stuff around Kirksville, and suddenly you're buying a whole bunch of like cars in LA, your credit card may have been stolen, that kind of thing. And this next one I feel like is the most popular one that most people know about. Have you ever seen AI learn how to play Flappy Bird or something like that? That's what this last one is, called reinforcement learning, where the neural network has some kind of environment to work around, and we set up some function to tell it, hey, you're doing good, hey, you're doing bad, kind of thing. And then eventually it gets like to where it can like actually do what we set it up to do. For example, play Flappy Bird. Yeah, those are the 3 main types. Again, there are other types that you'll find, but some are a combination of 2, some aren't. It's a very big subject. There's like a masterclass here in it that takes like a while to do. There are some cool things that you can do with machine learning that I've seen. Cool one for me is it was a handwriting recognizer, so you can write stuff down and have it convert to text, which is easy for humans, but it's really hard to program into a computer. So, that was something cool. People with disabilities who can't very write as well could still have like legible notes and stuff. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a big field. I recommend you look it up if you're interested. And thank you. Have a nice day.